Hello friends, in this video we will look at the printf and the scanf statements. These statements are of very great importance in C language because they help us in taking inputs from the user and giving the outputs of the program to the user. And they have several forms like what data type we are using. According to that, some things are going to change. And also the scanf statement, when we are reading a character or a string input, how it behaves, a lot of things are there. So we will look at them in this video. So let us begin. So this is the basic C program which we wrote in the last class. I'm going to edit in the same program. And here I am going to declare a couple of data types. If you are not aware of the C language data types, then you can look at the next video that I will be uploading, in which I will be discussing the data types. And I am declaring a integer data type. Suppose I variable I am using. Then I am using a unsigned integer and I am declaring it as a j. And then I am declaring a char variable c. Then I have a char array which is str of size 10, and then I am declaring a float variable and float f I am declaring. So I have taken integer, float, and I have taken character and character array. 5 data types I have taken, and now let us see how printf and scanf are used with them. So first I will use, let me assign values to these. So let us do that using scanf. So I use scanf, and scanf is all small case, and in this I will be writing, there are two things. One is the format specifier and the other is the list of variables. So if I want to read an integer, I will write %d. Now one important thing is, if I put a space with this %d, then in the input also I have to give the space. If I put a space over here, then that space has to be given in the input also, otherwise scanf will not behave properly. So generally we do not put any extra characters with scanf. So we write %d, and if I want to receive for multiple values, then I can put another format specifier here, and I can read for multiple values, but it is generally advisable that one scanf be used for one variable, because that will keep your inputs clean. So I mention the name of the integer that I want to read. I have to attach an ampersand in front of this because this is a reference to the memory location where I will be stored, and scanf can modify that memory location if we pass it by reference. If we understand what is call by reference and call by value, this is a call by reference, and therefore I location can be modified by scanf for the contents. So we scanf using ampersand I. Then for char, if I want to scanf, so let us execute this much first, and just print a message. Printf enter any number, and it is very important to put a scanf after a printf, otherwise we will not be clear what is supposed to be done. And /n is used for introducing a new line in your output, so that is also equally important to be placed. So let us execute this. So it is compiled successfully. Now let us run it. So it is asking enter in number. So if I say 23, it will accept it. And if I again execute it and I give any character, then also this program is behaving fine. So what we can do is we can printf to find out what it is reading. So again we attach a printf. Again in the printf we have to give the format specifier. So the number you entered is %d, and you put a I character here. And here we don't have to put the ampersand because we are not modifying the contents of I, we are just printing them. So we don't have to put an ampersand in printf. So let us run this. Okay, I did not compile it. Just see if it works. It didn't pick the latest program, so let us compile it. And now we will run it again. So I entered 3. So it is saying that the number you entered is 3. Hello world. And now if I enter a character over here, that is some alphabet, then it will give me garbage. So this 0 is by chance. It should have given me a garbage value because I could not be set properly, because the data type we have specified and the data type that we are entering both are different. So automatic conversion does not happen in C. You have to be careful when you're asking integer, only integer should get entered. So then we have another series of printfs and scanfs. So printf, and I will read the value of a float. And okay, for an unsigned integer, that is j, we have declared unsigned integer, we have to use u. So let me put it here, %u and comma %j. So this is an indication to the compiler when you print this number u, which you have entered using %u, no difference you will feel, but the way it is stored, that is different. So it is an unsigned integer. You cannot put a negative or a positive sign in front of it. That is the only difference. Otherwise, this is a regular integer. So we can once again compile this. And okay, there's an error. Okay, I didn't put a semicolon here. Control S and just compile this. Execute. So it is asking for a number. This is a simple number using scanf %d. So we have entered 3. Now again it is asking for a number. If I enter -4 here, it will not read -4 because it is unsigned integer. It cannot take a number with a negative sign. So I have to enter a number without any sign. So 5, and the next number I entered is 10. So it is printing 5 and 10. So it will, in the unsigned integer u, it will not accept any number with a sign. Now let us come to the floats. So again we will print a message, enter a float value, and we scan it once again. And for float we use %f for a simple float. And again we will put ampersand for giving the address of the variable. So first ampersand f. And this, and then let us print the value. So printf, the value you enter is %f again for printing the value, and after the comma you put the variable whose value you want to print. So let us save this, then compile and execute. So it is asking for any number. So 4, 3, the number you entered is 4, 3, enter a float value. So if I enter 3, it will automatically attach a .00 in front of it. And if I want to enter any float value, let us execute it once again. So 4, 5, 3.45 float value, and it is taking 3.45 followed by a number of zeros. We can control the number of zeros that are getting printed by writing it here. So I can put it here .3. So 3 decimal places after the dot. So I have 4, 3, and I enter 3.45. So okay, it is not working right now. Let me just look at it. So let me just put 2.3 here. So let us save this, compile it once again, and let us execute it now. So 4, 3, and now enter a float value 3.45. So it is giving me 3 point and then 3 digits after the decimal. So that is how we can get only the limited number of values. So it is actually 2.43 is 2 is the total area that will be utilized, 2 characters, and within that 3 are dedicated to the float. So if I put a 5 here, or let me put 10 here, then my data will be properly formatted. So in 10 characters it is going to adjust the value, and out of those 10 characters, 3 characters will be given to the decimal place. Okay, I didn't compile it. So let me just compile it once again and run. So enter 4, 5 and then 3.45. So you can see here it is formatted 10 characters, and out of those 10 characters, 3 are for the decimal places, and the remaining 7, 1 is for the decimal, and remaining 6 are for the integer part of the float. So the first character controls the total space, and this point, after the point whatever we are specifying, that controls the number of places after the decimal. So it is always recommended that the first number be larger than the second. If the first number is not larger than the second, then the compiler is going to ignore this request and just dedicate 3 places for the decimal, because it cannot accommodate the whole number in the given space. Then moving ahead, we have for the strings. Printing of strings is simple, that you put a string within the quotes and it is getting printed. Now let us read a string from the user. First let us read a character from the user. So printf, enter a character, and I will use a scanf, and %c is for the character, and I will put ampersand in front of the character and the name of the character variable, and Control S, and let us print the value. So printf, the value you entered is, instead of all this, we will write C here and the name of the character variable that we want to print. Save it, Control S, then compile, and then run. So you enter the value 4, 5, enter float 3.45, and okay, the character it is not taking. Now this is a catch here. The catch is that we've already entered some variables using the scanf, and the compiler is unable to, what happens is there is a residue enter character in the buffer, keyboard buffer, which the character %c is reading. So we have to flush that out using the flush stdin, which is a function available within the C language. And in order to use this function, we have to include conio.h. So conio.h is console input output, and then, so now if we will read, now the problem will not be there. So let us execute it, compile it first. So there are no errors. Now run. Now, okay, 4.567, and enter a character. Now it is waiting for us to enter a character. So I enter U and I press enter. Now it is printing the value you've entered is U, hello world. So we have seen that with flush stdin, we are able to flush out the extra characters which are stored in the keyboard buffer. Okay, so in the next video, I will be discussing about the strings, how to input output strings, and how to we will be discussing about the how to input output strings and the data types. So I hope this video is helpful to you. If you like it, please subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. Thank you very much.